Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma. I am an advanced cultist. I'm a criminologist, and so in this one, I'm going to talk about how we can best describe this plane, right? So, who are we? What are we about? What is this about? Why are we here? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is right, what is going on? If I don't laugh, I cry, right? This is reality, right? So what is going on, right? So the best way I can depict this now is that we are here to, some of us, not all of us, right? But we're here to understand this world, right? So how can we understand this world and what it means to be here, right? So all you little ones out there, now I love you all to bits, especially you little ones, right? Right? And I mean that. And with heart we rise in love, and we know our truth, our innocence, our everything. It all comes together. This is how we rise. This is how we know. Okay, we rise on an innocence. Okay, and if you're an old person and you've been deceived or you've been deceiving, then you're not gonna have a good ride when you rise. Right? You might have to sit there and rise with people. But you won't be able to rise yourself, There's reality to this, right? Because there's corruption taking place. So, never mind all that. Shift that off. Okay? So, how can we best describe this world? If we were to say why we're here, why do we exist? Okay? Come through your mums, right? Come through your mums, right? So why do you exist? It's because we exist because we're here to experience this plane of existence. And regardless whether there's other planes of existence or not, doesn't matter. We are here right now, right here, right now, to observe a reality. Okay, and people can say it's just all mental and it's in a VR set, but it's the most easiest way to understand and depict our reality itself right now. Okay, so you might have spiritual experiences where you're jumping out of these zones. It's not a truth. It's not a real truth, right? So I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this, okay, but it's not an actual truth, okay? The reality is that this is the best way in a 3D concept to break down what's going on in these realms, right? And it just is. So how do we understand this realm and reality that we live in right now? Okay, it's almost like an experiment, and this is how the best way to explain it, right? And God is like if I was to give you an answer, right? God, right, is beyond, right? He's not here, he's beyond, he's observing. Right? He's not in this realm of reality. And your angels that come down, right? And we experience it, see what's going on. What is right, what is wrong? What needs to change, what doesn't need to change. And this is where the angels step in, right? To tell us what's going on. But we all need to join together, right? As an angel concept, understanding what needs to happen. Because you might stand there and go, I'm an angel, and you might stand back and just watch. Well, it's too late. You stepped in too late, right? So some of you lot stepped in too late. You created spaces and you stepped in too late and you thought you was God themselves, right? And it's because, there's a lot of things going on around here, right? But usually there's someone that takes it and runs for it. And there's a reason. And there is a reason why everything happens. And, you might have had a couple of lifetimes with crap and you're experiencing them again. And you don't know why. And it's because Mummy's here, all right? Mummy's here. Mummy's still here, right? You're still here. Mummy's still here, right? We're all still here, right? And if you don't, what happens is you pass and you go through a reincarnation and you come back down again, okay? So this is how the best way to explain this situation, because I've explained this to young ones, okay? So this is how I explain it, right? This is what happens, right? It happens, right? You fall back through, okay? But there's some people that shouldn't be here, but we're here on purpose, right? And this is how I see this, right? You're not, like, not everybody will ever understand this, but if you want to depict an understanding of a truth, we are observing from beyond, and we come through. We experience this reality, right? And this is how you might find people who have more like of an understanding. You might get people who don't have no idea and they're just going along with what everyone else is saying, right? So let's get into this, right? God is a concept of a beyond, right? A beyond, right? And then you get angel that jump through. And sometimes it's strategic as well, right? And it's not strategic like, oh, you've got to take the burden, you're a sacrifice, because that's not a true concept either, right? So it's a lie, right? You are not a sacrifice. It is a lie, okay? So when people say, oh, you've got to take a beating for this, it's a lie, okay? And the reason why is because they want you to be conditioned into them spaces for you to understand when you're older, okay, what's happening, and make you believe that this is why this takes place. But it's a lie, right? And there's a reason. It's because in our realm in reality, we have to come down and understand. So I'm understanding this now. Look at this. And I look back and I think to myself, right, so you got Indians, you got China, you got Russia, you got UK, Germany. Look at all the different races. You've got America, they're all diverse, right? And then you've got like Cuba. Is it Cuba? Mexico, right? So you can tell there's different Bosnia. You can tell there's different countries. And they have different ethnicity, right? Hear me out. So we can see, okay, with the different ethnicities that we was almost planted on this plane, right? And people say it's from the stars, but it's not. It's from beyond, okay? We are an aspect of beyond, okay? And it's kind of like, this is what I was shown when I was younger, but it was kind of a handled concept, so I can't really go into it too much because I was handled, okay? So I'm going to be honest with you now. When I was handled, right, from a very young age, I think sorry about that. So I was handled, okay? And it's kind of the truth, okay? So from a real young age, I was handled. So, you know, if you, all you like cultists out there that, you know, love me and came back for me in that moment, right? You got to understand, there was a handling concept taking place, right? And it's a 5D creative space, right? So just bear with me when I bring this to you. But I'm not coming to you because that was the download. I'm coming to you because I can see it as a puzzle when I look beyond and look, right? So like I've just said, there's all different types of races. There's all different types of races, okay? And this is why, okay, because this is how I can bring it to you. This is how I know and understand. And this is also how I can depict like a different colour, right? So it has everything to do with like the colour of our skin and what we look like, right? And it does, okay? Even though I say race isn't a significant factor and we should all just blend, which is fine, okay? This is good. This is okay. And that's not a bad thing, right? What I'm trying to say though is that when we blend, okay, we have to really understand, okay, what a blend is. Did you already blend? Okay. Was there already races, and then was there already a blend? How long have you been here? O's. How long have you been here? And I don't mean to be rude, but you know, some of them are white as well, right? So them they come through as well. So you get O's who are negative O's and they're white. You get negative O's and they're black. So it all has a connotation. And it's not necessarily one fits all. So you can have a blood type and then a race and it doesn't match, okay? So you can tell that we've been here for that long right? We've been here for that long where we've merged and then merged back out again. So it's almost like, who is the O negatives? Because I know loads of O negatives that are white. I know loads of O negatives that are black. And, you know, this is the original stream, okay? So I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that it's almost like there's a output there of a O neg race that was almost like it had already happened, right? So then you get A's and then you get B's, right? So I'm an A, right? So I don't think I'm original here, but we all have O either within us, right? Hear me out. So we all have an O within us, right? We all have a neg within us, O neg, okay? It's within us. And then they say extra is added in, okay? So this would be a protein, right? This might be a protein because they say A's is a protein and a B is another protein. So I'm not a B. I don't know what a B is, okay? But I'm an A, okay? So I have A and O within me. I don't have a B within me, right? So I can understand I can understand O negs, I can understand O positives, and I can understand A negs, and I can understand A positives, right? And this is how it is. I can't understand the B's. I can't understand them. So this might be an indicator that I might learn from a B blood type. Might learn from these B blood types. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure we'll find out in the end. But okay, so let's get into the experiments back again, right? Let's bring these understanding these depictions of experiments. So what if there were an experiment taking place and it happened over millennia or over time, that there was an O that took place, and then there was an A that took place, and then there was a B that took place, and then there was an AB took place, and that's running through now because that's the most rare, right? So it's almost like, if I feel in this energy, there's O's, they were the first ones to experience this reality. A's, they were the second ones to experience this reality. And then the B's were the third ones to experience this reality. And then the ABs were the ones who experienced it the lastly, right? So this is the best way I can explain this. So let me get into something that I spoke to my little girl about, right? So we was reading a book, right? And it was, I was just teaching her, I was reading her, right? And when I was reading, she was reading to me, right? She's clever, right? I taught her a lot, right? So reading this, oh, she's reading, she's picture. I explained it to her. Oh, and she's reading, right? So she said to me when she looked at this picture, right, and there was a black family, right? So we know this as a black family, but she is only a little girl. She's only little, so don't go for her, because I'll go for you, right? You have to teach different things. So if you come from a black community, you got to teach your children what that white person, what I might look like. She'd be like, oh, mummy, who's this girl? What do you think they're going to say? Doesn't matter where they come from, what race, creed, whatever, colour, background, nothing. If you come from a black family, it's like Brooklyn, right, because the majority of them are black, what do you think they're going to do if they saw me walk down? Mummy, she's coloured, isn't she? Well, that's what she said to me. They're coloured. They're a different colour, okay, because these children can't speak like that. So they're a different colour, right? So it's almost like you have to teach your children, right, because you do anyway, especially if you come from a different minority. You might come from a massive minority or a small minority of people where you then have to explain to them children what it is, right? Because I come from like a majority white based community, right? So, you know, you have to teach them this because they don't understand. So when you sit there and you're reading a book and these people are black, she's saying to me, they're coloured. I said, darling, because obviously it's racist, isn't it, to call these people coloured? And she didn't know none the wiser, so don't go for her, because I'll go for you, right? So listen to this, right? They're coloured, mummy. They're different colour. So she's trying to tell me they're different colour, right? So she can't speak that yet because she's only little, right? So this is where we have to explain to these children, they're not coloured, darling. And I looked at her. She was like, huh? I was like, they're not coloured. I said, look at me. And I said, what am I? I said, what colour eyes have I got? What colour hair have I got? What colour lips have I got? What tongue have I got? Right? What colour am I? I said, darling, I said, they're not coloured. I said, if anything, we're coloured. Right? If anything, we're coloured. Right? Because we got the primary colours in us, right? And this is what I'm trying to explain to her. And you know that it's not a bad thing to explain this, because you know all children go through this. They have to learn, right? So is that a bad thing for that child to do? No, it's bloody not. Because she's never seen anything different. So is it bad? No, it's not. We teach our children to know a different understanding. So I said to her, I said, are they coloured? I said, no, darling, they're not coloured. I said, I'm coloured. I said, they're not, right? Why? Because they have brown skin, brown eyes, and brown hair. I said, so they are not a colour, okay? And it's the truth. So my granddad, he taught me this. That you don't go around and call people coloured, right? But they might say that as a child concept because they've never learned anything else. So you got to realise is that if you're like a different colour, you might be a white person, your colour. It's the same concept. So it's not a racist thing, it's just an understanding thing. Okay, you teach your children that you don't call people that because obviously it's racist to call somebody coloured. And I said, I'm coloured. I've got blonde hair, yellow hair, I said blue eyes and red lips. I said, I'm coloured. I said, they're not coloured, right? So what you have to realise is that now, let's bring this experiment back in, this experiment concept, is that it's almost like God must have used it as an experiment from up there. And it sounds really scary because when I was a kid, I was scared but I knew, right? I knew beyond a handler concept or anything like this. I knew because it's almost like God's gone drip, 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 drip. Let's take experiments. Let's see what happens on this plane from a different place. So you got China, you got England, you've got Mexico, so you can drip. I bet there's one that was drip there, and then possibly